So this is my my weekly weigh-in video. Thought I'd change it up a little bit today. Instead of just shooting the video from my basement, I figured why not come out and do a vlog slash update, right? Pretty nice day. Pretty nice day. Hardly anybody on the lake. As you can tell, I finally got my kayak cart working. First time I was able to ride all the way to the lake with the kayak, brought my paddle, so I'm kayaking. It was actually a little harder than I thought. I thought with this new cart with the better wheels that it wouldn't be quite as hard to pedal and tow the kayak, but it basically felt like I was riding uphill the whole way. So I mean, I'll do it again, but I'll probably do it maybe earlier on a weekend day. There's a lot more traffic on that one stretch of road. It's a little sketchy. I didn't feel really safe. I put a light on the back of the kayak, so I'd be a little bit more visible. But still, cars are going fast, and yeah. So anyway, I picked a spot on the lake where I think I can just drift around and not have to paddle, but I don't know. Anyway, if I start paddling, that's why. I'm just drifting somewhere I don't want to drift. So for this week, so there are a couple things that happened this week that I'm basically kind of flip-flopping on. The first is protein shakes. So last week I had stopped having a protein shake after my my workouts, and that was because I felt like I wanted some more whole food rather than the shake, the liquid shake, and that also meant that I had to cut out the waxy maize, which is something I was adding to my shakes to help with recovery. But I noticed a few days toward the end of last week that I wasn't recovering quite as well as I had been in the past. And so the last few days I added protein shakes back in, and I did feel like I was recovering better. I feel like I had some better workouts, but the same stomach issues that I was having before came back, especially today. I didn't work out this morning. This morning was supposed to be a shoulders legs workout, but I thought since I'm biking out here and kayaking, that's going to be enough for my shoulders and legs. But I had a protein shake, and it really just didn't sit well. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll make the protein shake later in the day, see if that helps, and not being the first food that I've eaten during the day. So I don't know. I'm still experimenting. The other thing that I'm kind of flip-flopping on is my attic gym. So the bottom line is that to do the attic correctly, to actually make it into like livable space, which is one of the benefits that I thought, because it would just add more living space to the house. I really have to do the insulation correctly. I would need a higher R value insulation that I had bought, and I also sorry, I'm turning away. Don't necessarily want the sun at my back. And our house is so old, it doesn't have soffit vents, it doesn't have a ridge vent, actually it has no vents. And our roof actually needs to be replaced. It's got 2 coatings of shingles, and anyway, I really just think that we're gonna have to invest in redoing the roof first, probably the gutters, putting soffit vents in, and then I think I'd be able to insulate the attic easier. So yeah, you're talking thousands of dollars, so I just don't have that right now. So make a long story short, I'm back to the basement. I'm back to expanding the basement. I returned the insulation that I bought. I had bought some 2x4s for framing. I'm keeping those because I can use them in the basement. But I'm I'm okay with it. I mean, I spent a lot of time cleaning up the attic, and I mean, obviously it's wasted time as far as getting my gym in order, but it kind of needed to be done. So last week I went back down into the basement. I started cleaning out the area that I'm going to be kind of expanding into. They're calling for, I think, some rain a few days this week. So I think I'm going to be able to get down there and at least start framing the new wall that I'm going to put in. So I'm basically putting a wall kind of straight down the middle of the basement, and then taking out the two walls that I currently have. So I think in the end it's actually going to be more space than I would have had in the attic. So and it saves me the time of having to carry all the equipment up in the attic, and that would have been still a while before I was able to move up there. So I think I'm going to be able to get there quicker going in the basement. So as far as diet is concerned, I think I actually am still improving. I think I'm still I'm losing some weight, and it feels good. I honestly I don't know how much, because I'm not weighing myself, but I feel lighter. Clothes are still fitting a little looser, so yeah, I'm happy about all that. As far as this coming week, like I said, I'm going to work on the basement, and try to tighten up my diet even a little bit more. I'm still having some some days where I'm craving chips, and we have some chips around, and we had pizza last week. It was this pizza place near us had this new Brooklyn pizza, fresh mozzarella on it. Obviously that's not vegan, but I did partake in that. It was very good. So but overall, diet wise, not too bad. And like I said, I think I still got some improvements to do, tighten things up, and I gotta watch though, because I really want to get outside. I really want to take the days and like this. This is beautiful. Like, I can't believe this like there's nobody out here. So nice. But I want to get outside. I want to use the time while we still have nice weather. But I got to balance that, like with the indoor stuff, working on the gym in the basement. So really want to capitalize on the rainy days that are coming up, and use that for indoor stuff, and then get some more walks and some bike rides in. So anyway, that is pretty much it, I think, for this week. Oh no, something else happened this week. We now have a third grand puppy. My son got a dog. He's been wanting a German Shepherd for a long time. Some people we know were breeding German Shepherds, and they just became available, so he went ahead and did it. And her name is Kyra. She is adorable. When we got her, which was just, I should say when he got her, it's not our dog, his dog. When he got her, both ears were down. German Shepherds, as they grow, their ears stand up, and right now one ear's up and one ear's down, which I think is actually even cuter. So anyway, I'm gonna finish up this kayaking, ride my bike back home, and call it a day. Anyway, I hope you had a great week, and I will talk to you in the next video.